Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Mike Martin Show here on AM 790 WPRV and on Facebook Live. I'm your host, Scott Credici. Glad you could join us. As you notice, we are not at Hope Street Pizza this week. We're going to take a little bit of a pause with the pandemic going on. We're trying to do this out of an abundance of caution for the men's basketball program here at Brown. Let me tell you, the first segment of the Mike Martin Show is brought to you by Bay Coast Bank, providing exceptional service and financial solutions for our community since 1851. Visit baycoast.bank to learn more. It gives me great pleasure right now to welcome to the show the head coach of the Bears, Mike Martin. Coach, how are you?
Scott, I'm doing well, and good for our viewers to see we've dressed the place up a little bit, right?
I like it. You know, why don't we start there before we even get into our weekend recap from last weekend. We are sitting here and broadcasting from the newly renovated Brown men's and women's basketball offices here inside the Pizzatola Sports Center, made possible by a lot of generous alumni donors. This is really nice, Coach.
Yeah, you know what? It's a big upgrade, and we're so appreciative to the support that we receive, and for the people who made this possible. Obviously, our administration, the powers that be here at the university, and then our donors who gave very generous gifts to make these renovations possible here upstairs and also downstairs in our video room, our student-athlete lounge, and our new locker room, both for men's and women's basketball. So this is our suite. You can see some really nice graphics behind us that showcase the history of both men's and women's basketball here at Brown. We have conference rooms, meeting spaces for both the men's staff and the women's staff have separate meeting spaces, and we all have some upgraded offices. So and a little locker room up here as well to take advantage of. So appreciative, another sign of the progress that our program continues to make, and it's all because of the support of our alumni, our donors, and more to come.
Yeah, and Coach, the meeting space to me is such a big thing. Not only for you and your staff to be able to meet in conference rooms together, but also down in the locker room, the team meeting space, to be able to show film and have the guys in that type of setting. That's a real big plus.
It is, and obviously, unfortunately, given what's going on right now, we're doing our best to mitigate as much risk as we can with meeting together. So, like, today we'll watch film on the court, and we'll spread out, and
right.
When we're down there in the film room, we're all wearing masks, but trying to do as much we can to just get through this variant and mitigate the risks that our players have. Obviously, they've all done a great job with vaccinations and boosters, and but the variant's out there and the testing persists here at Brown. And but yeah, to get back to your original question, when we can take recruits downstairs, we can take them here upstairs. We can show them the type of access they have to film review and technology and meeting, and so much of this game. We don't just show up on Friday and Saturday and play. So much of it's film review. Here's how we can help you get better. Here's some things your opponent does that we may want to be prepared for. And we watch so much film as a program. Our assistant coaches, our staff, they do a great job breaking it down. And I think our players do a great job of taking what they see. Ultimately, we want to see how we can be better. We want to see what we can do against an opponent, but we don't want them overthinking. We want them to play off their instincts. So the more we can kind of watch it, talk about it, and simplify it so they can go play off their instincts, that's when we're going to be at our best.
All right, Coach, let's take a look at last weekend's game. So you had one of those what are now rare back-to-back weekends in the Ivy League. You started Friday night in Cambridge against the Harvard Crimson at Levites Pavilion before heading up to Hanover, New Hampshire to take on the Big Green of Dartmouth. We'll start with the Harvard game. Just an impressive performance by your young men. 84-73 was the final. And, Coach, before the game you said to me, a guy that I'd like to get on the floor a little bit more, see what he can do, and do what he did his freshman year is Perry Cowan. And Perry Cowan certainly rewarded you right out of the gates. Ferrari gets it to Lilly, who brings it up the floor quickly for the Bears. Lilly in transition. Drop pass to Perry Cowan for three. It's good.
Terrific pass by Lilly. And that's why Cowan's in the game, is to make some threes.
15-10. Bears break the scoring drought, trailing Harvard by 5. 11.5 to go here in the first half. Yeah, and we'll hear more from Perry a little bit later on in the highlights. But, boy, Coach, he played really well for you Friday night.
He did. That ended a 15-0 Harvard run, too. We started the game 7-0, and then we turned around and it was 15-7. But, yeah, you know what? Perry's keeps working. He's earned it. It's really hard. You know, when you go from playing as much as he did as a freshman to having some games recently where he didn't play hardly at all. So it's hard to continue to have the type of drive and determination and attitude that when your opportunity comes, you're going to be ready. Perry's done it, and I think that says so much about his character. It says a lot about our culture. We talk all the time about being ready. You don't have to get ready; you are ready, and preparation is a big reason why Perry, when the opportunity presented itself, he was successful.
A little bit later on in the first half, a couple of relative newcomers to the program. Transfer of Paxton Wojcik, freshman Keno Lilly hooked up for this highlight. Here's Paxton Wojcik. Dribbles left baseline, takes it underneath the bucket, kicks it out to Lilly. Top of the key three for Keno is good.
What a great pass out by Paxton. Was double teamed. Falling down, he found Lilly at the top of the key, and Keno delivers.
11 in the first half for the freshman Keno Lilly. 25-19 Brown with 5.5 to go here in the first half. Yeah, you talked about that run that Harvard went on, and then you guys go on a nice run there, led by your freshman and your leading scorer on the team, Keno Lilly.
Yeah, he's been so great, and in that play there, Paxton created for him. It can easily be the other way around too. Keno creating for Paxton, and both guys can shoot it, both guys can pass it and drive it, and when they play like they did Friday, we become really good. But Keno's been so consistent, and I say he's just wise beyond his years on the court. He's nothing really phases him. He's got unbelievable skill set, but he's got a high IQ, and he's a really good player. He's going to have an unbelievable career here at Brown.
Boy, you talk about consistency. Another guy that's been consistently great for you of late has been your grad student co-captain, Tamanong Cho. He off to a slow start this season because he missed some time in the preseason, missed some time early in the year, had that hip impingement. And now that he's been back in practice and back out on the court on a regular basis, he has been fantastic. And here, T took it to the rim to help the Bears get two. Side to Lilly. Find T. Cho. Right side foul line extended. Takes it to the hoop. Strong and lays it in.
Wow. That was a great move. He went right by Noah Kirkwood and kissed it in off the glass.
5 points for Cho. He also has 7 rebounds and 3 assists. And the Bears lead by 4, 50-46. And I'll tell you, he's really been playing at just a high level for you lately, Coach.
Yeah, and you said it, Scott. He missed so much time early because of his injury. He missed games, missed practice, and he's really rounding into form, and he's playing like the player of the year in the Ivy League. I know it's early, but he'll be in that conversation for sure. With his leadership, with his talent, and with his production.
Coach, one of the plays of the game, I thought, and he'll be joining us in just a moment, Jalen Gainey, was provided by great effort on JG's part to keep the ball alive, which resulted in this Lilly 3. Cho squares, faces the basket, guarded by Ledlam. He's going to take the 3, short, and Gainey saves it from going out. Gets it to Lilly for an open 3. Oh, what a play that was!
Hustle play by Jalen Gainey, an athletic play by Gainey. Give him the assist and give Lilly the 3.
Mark that play down as possibly being the play of the game. Jalen Gainey's hustle saves it from going out of bounds, gets it to Keno Lilly, who drains his 5th triple of the night. Bears by 10, 66-56. You remember that play, Coach?
Absolutely. I think you're right on it. It would put us up 10 with 5 minutes to go. I thought it was a huge play in the game. Obviously, we still had work to do, but that was a big swing, because you're up 7, and if they get the stop, now all of a sudden they go down, and if they score, it's either 4 or 5. And, great play by Jalen. We have our we watch film after every game as a team before our next game of the game that we just played, and we call it our Get Better film. We want to, see some things that we can do better, see some things that we did really well. And it always finishes with a segment we call our culture plays. These are plays that helped advance our culture in that game. And it could be a guy diving on the floor for a loose ball, taking a charge. Could be our bench, just really into it, showing great energy. It might be an unselfish play. Might be guy on the floor and 4 of his teammates running over to pick him up, all plays that help advance our culture. But that one was one with Jalen's effort on the glass to save a possession, to kick it out to an open shooter, and obviously it was a huge momentum swing.
I'm sure you guys keep track of that. I'd love to see some of the numbers too, but, like for instance, Jalen, we talk about the block shots. do you guys keep track of altered shots, right? I mean, how many shots he changes, forcing an opponent to miss a shot because they see his long arm, and then you get a guy like Ferrari drawing charges, right? That doesn't show up in the box score on the stat sheet. I'd love to know how many charges he's drawn. Do you guys keep track of those culture plays?
Well, we keep track of them for sure, and we celebrate them. We want to celebrate them as a team. It's not just something that we keep track of, but it's something that we show and we celebrate. And it could just be, hey, somebody drives at Jalen and he doesn't block the shot, but he goes up and he goes straight and he has his hands behind his ears. He reaches for the lights and he doesn't foul, and he makes a guy finish over the top of him.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you got a 6'9" with a 7'3" wingspan with his hands up, and he's jumping high off the floor. It's a tough finish. So it may not show up as a block shot, but it's a miss for them and not a foul for us. So those are all things that we track, we record, and we celebrate, when we do it well, because they're huge. They're huge plays if we want to be a winning program.
Friday night was also a battle within the battle. The Wojcik brothers squared off. Paxson's brother plays for Harvard, and Paxson matched his career high against the Crimson. Here is this late highlight from the Bears junior guard. 13 on the shot clock. Wojcik guarded by Silverstein away from the basket. Now with 8. Now with 7. With 6. Wojcik wants to take him one-on-one. He will. He'll step back, take the 14-foot jumper, and hit it. So the Bears work the clock and get the bucket.
They did work the clock, and that was all Paxson Wojcik working that shot. He loves that little fadeaway in the lane or just outside of the lane, and he hit it again. Bears up 10 with 1:29 left.
Big brother getting the best of little brother here tonight, or at least his team is. Paxson Wojcik with 15, helping his Bears now to a 10-point lead over Harvard with 1:29 to play. He finished with 17, and he played really well Friday night.
He was great. He played with a confidence and an edge, and he represented our entire team. They played with a sense of urgency and with a passion and a spirit that you could feel, from the opening tip. Even when we didn't play our best, you could feel that spirit, and Paxson, our guys fed off his energy and his leadership.
So I talked to his mom before the game. I said, where you're sitting and who you're rooting for tonight. And she said, well, it's at Harvard, so I'm going to sit behind the Harvard bench. She said, but I'm not going to cheer for either team. She said when it's at Brown, she's going to sit behind your bench.
Yeah, I can't imagine being in that situation. Obviously, I'm sure so proud and so excited for her two sons, but it must have been difficult to watch. In some ways, outstanding and so fun to watch. In other ways, I'm sure so difficult. But Wojiks are a great basketball family, and we're fortunate that we've got one of them here with us.
Yeah, what a great job they did raising two young men that are Ivy League student athletes. That's pretty special.
Yeah, and Denham's going to be a really good player for Harvard too. We recruited him as well, and he chose Harvard, and he's going to have a great career there. He's already making a big impact as a freshman.
So, Coach, you shoot the ball very well at Harvard too. I mean, I thought on both ends of the floor it was maybe one of the best performances, if not the best of the season.
We played well. Our defense needs to be better. We gave up too many offensive rebounds, but I thought our spacing, our movement, and how we shared the ball led to good shots. Now, we made some tough ones, and the shooting percentage you can't expect every night, but the process that led to the shots, I felt good about. Same thing, and we'll get into it. The next night, the ball didn't go in,
right,
but I still thought the process was pretty good. It led to good shots. They didn't go in, and that's what we're as a staff, when we talk to our team and we watch film, it's more about, all right, what was our movement? What was our screening actions? What was our cutting like? What was our passing like? That led to the shot, and what was the quality of the shot? Never mind the result. Does it go in or does it not go in? What was the process? And I thought Friday night it was really good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, in this crazy COVID world we're living in, the next night you head up to Hanover and face a Dartmouth team that was just laying in wait for you because their game Friday night was postponed due to the fact that Yale, is dealing with some issues in terms of COVID protocols within their program. So, Dartmouth nice and fresh. You guys coming off a win the night before. It is what it is. But let's get into the highlights for this game. And early on, your team got off to a great start, led in part by your freshman leading scorer, Keno Lilly. Lilly catch and shoot three. Right corner is good. And the freshman comes right off the bench and knocks one down.
And Lilly says, that's what you guys watched last night on ESPNU. And timeout, Dave McLaughlin.
10-0 Bears to start the game. Timeout called by Dartmouth with 15:53 to go in the opening half. Oh, what a start to that game, Coach. You guys came out really flying around.
Yeah, I think our players sensed the urgency again, and that was great to see. I obviously we couldn't it didn't last for 40 minutes. We lost a little bit as the game went on, and we've got to find a way to overcome whatever adversity we're facing. I thought Dartmouth's being fresh, and it was their first game. I thought that showed. They were a little quicker to the loose balls in the second half. They were a little quicker to offensive rebounds. They made more open shots than we did. I think our players and their approach to start the game was really good. They were ready, and it showed with the 10-0 start.
Coach, your team's tough, aggressive defense, man-to-man, I think has been a staple of the program since you've taken over here at your alma mater. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen your team play, 30 seconds of just tremendous defense, and then we get burned at the shot clock buzzer. I feel like it's happened to us too many times this season. It was nice to see it go our way Saturday night up in Hanover on this 3 by Dan Friday.
10 on the shot clock for the Bears. Friday up top, Wojcik. Wojcik, left-hand dribble to the left of the key. Fire it up top to Friday. 4 on the shot clock. 3, 2. He steps back and takes a long 3 at the shot clock buzzer and hits it.
Get that one. Slacker was right there, too. Friday, very, very deep 3.
5 points for Dan Friday, 19-12. Bears lead is 7 here at Dartmouth.
And I brought out that point earlier. Look, you can't complain when your team plays 30 seconds of just great defense and then a team hits, kind of a miracle 3. It happens. I just feel like it's frustrating when it happens because you play so well and so hard on that possession, and then to not be rewarded with a missed shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dartmouth probably felt the same
right
on that possession there. But credit to Dan, that was a big play he made. Step up, made a play at the end of the shot clock. Sometimes, offensive possessions aren't going to be what you like them to be. Players got to step up and make some plays, and he certainly did. It's ironic because I thought that was the rarity on Saturday night. A lot of times our guys ran great offense, and they led to great shots, and they unfortunately just didn't go in.
Yep, just the opposite of the night before at Harvard when everything was going in. Good open looks were not dropping up in Hanover. We talked about T. Cho's great play of late, and you talked earlier about culture plays. This, to me, was a tremendous culture play by your grad student co-captain.
Lilly passes it top of the key to David Mitchell. Mitchell swings it right to Lilly. Open 3. Keno in front of the Brown bench. No good. Offensive rebound. T. Cho on the weak side. Cho kicks it out to Wojcik for an open 3. That one's no good. Cho tips it to himself. Goes back up in traffic and scores.
He's a rebounding animal, Scott. Wow. What effort by T. Cho.
31-29. Bears by 2 thanks to the great efforts on the offensive glass by Tamadong Cho.
That was just phenomenal by T.
And it was a culture play. You're right. We showed it on Monday in our film session, and not just the relentlessness with which he pursued the offensive rebounds, but the kick out to Paxson. We talk all the time when you get an offensive rebound. If you can go right back up, go up. But if there's 2 or 3 or 4 opponents' jerseys around you, that means there's probably an open player open for 3. He made a great, unselfish, poised play to kick it out to Paxson. Got a great look. Unfortunately, that didn't go in, and T went and got another one. And, that was absolutely a culture play. And, again, another example of his he's got talent. He's got, obviously, high character. He plays really hard, and he goes after the ball. One of his greatest skills is when the ball's in the air, he's got a great chance going to get it.
Right. And one more highlight from T, again, who had a magnificent weekend individually. With the Bears down late in the game, Cho's bucket here pulled them to within 4 with about 3.5 to go.
Ferrari gets it to Perry Callan. Up top, Tamadong Cho. Cho puts it on the deck. Going to take it to the hoop right by Rye. Scores at the rim.
Dave McLaughlin's going to get timeout here, I think, Scott.
21 for T. Cho. Bears pull to within 4.
T just, I think very early in the season when you first got him back, some of those shots weren't going in at the rim. Now they're going in.
Yeah, they are, and that was a big bucket there. We had fallen down by 13, and we made a big run to cut it to 4. And unfortunately, out of that timeout, Barry hits the big 3. But credit to Dartmouth, and unfortunately, we weren't our best. We've got to learn from it and move forward to this weekend.
Offensively, Coach, unfortunately, there are nights like this in basketball. I've seen this sport for too many years, when you miss open shots, and it's a helpless feeling because you're running good offense, you're getting open looks, and they're not going in. I'm sure probably the thing you can control more is maybe on the defensive end, right? Protecting the backboards, things of that nature.
Yeah, no question, and that's where I thought we defended really well for the first 16 minutes of the game. Last 4 minutes of the half, they got going a little bit, and then the second half, we had some moments. We weren't quite as good as where we were for the first 16 minutes. And part of defense is rebounding, and we didn't finish possessions the way we need to. And we've talked a lot about it this week. We want to be an elite defensive team. A big part of that is defensive rebounding, and we've got to be better. We gave up 32 offensive rebounds in 2 games last weekend. That's not good enough, plain and simple. And Dartmouth was quicker to the ball. They had they were just better going to get the ball, and that can't happen.
All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back on the Mike Martin Show, we'll be joined by Bears seniors Jalen Gainey and Noah Marin when we continue with the Mike Martin Show right after this.
Doctors at University Orthopedics have been caring for the people of southeastern New England for more than 40 years. With the Warren Alpert Medical School of Brown University, we train the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Our state-of-the-art facilities stretch from Westerly to Mansfield. At our East Bay Surgery Center, we've performed thousands of surgeries, including same-day total joint replacements. We've grown through the years, but our goal has always been getting you back to doing what you love to do. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here. University Orthopedics.
From corporate events to weddings by the bay to private celebrations, the Pronzi name means elegance, personalized service, and exacting attention to detail. Pronzi has everything you need in one place: event planning, catering, tents, tables and chairs, decor, and so much more. Call Pronzi today and let them plan your next event. Why go anywhere else?
No taxation without representation!
Sir, we're a bank.
The Crown shall not place these financial restraints upon thee.
Bay Coast Bank is one of New England's longest-standing community banks.
You can also use our interactive teller machine beyond normal banking hours.
Is that tea?
Hey, Paul. Yeah, no need to bring the horse. The British. Yeah, they're not coming.
Elite Physical Therapy was founded on relationships and wanting to do the very best and elite by others. Having our partnerships with institutions like the University of Rhode Island, Providence College, and Brown University have made us proud to continue to serve the communities like they do.
I can say that I am incredibly proud of our team and our community.
Treating them, we know these people on a personal level.
Here at Elite, we really focus on the person and what's important to the person.
We love Rhode Island. We're living here. We're raising our families here.
Doctors at University Orthopedics have been caring for the people of southeastern New England for more than 40 years. With the Warren Alpert Medical School of Brown University, we train the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Our state-of-the-art facilities stretch from Westerly to Mansfield. At our East Bay Surgery Center, we've performed thousands of surgeries, including same-day total joint replacements. We've grown through the years, but our goal has always been getting you back to doing what you love to do. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here. University Orthopedics.
From corporate events to weddings by the bay to private celebrations, the Pronzi name means elegance, personalized service, and exacting attention to detail. Pronzi has everything you need in one place: event planning, catering, tents, tables and chairs, decor, and so much more. Call Pronzi today and let them plan your next event. Why go anywhere else?
No taxation without representation!
Sir, we're a bank.
The Crown shall not place these financial restraints upon thee.
Bay Coast Bank is one of New England's longest-standing community banks.
You can also use our interactive teller machine beyond normal banking hours.
Is that tea?
Hey, Paul. Yeah, no need to bring the horse. The British. Yeah, they're not coming.
Elite Physical Therapy was founded on relationships and wanting to do the very best and elite by others. Having our partnerships with institutions like the University of Rhode Island, Providence College, and Brown University have made us proud to continue to serve the communities like they do.
I can say that I am incredibly proud of our team and our community.
Treating them, we know these people on a personal level.
Here at Elite, we really focus on the person and what's important to the person.
We love Rhode Island. We're living here. We're raising our families here.
Welcome back to the Mike Martin Show here on AM 790 WPRV and on Facebook Live. Scott Credisci with you, and right now we're happy to be joined by a couple of the seniors from this year's team. To my immediate right, senior big man Jalen Gainey. Jalen, how are you?
Doing good.
Well, thanks for being with us, JG. And to his right, senior guard Noah Marin. Noah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're going to get that mic up a little bit more in front of you. So we want to hear you, Noah.
Yep,
All right, there we
gotcha.
go. I'll turn it up a little bit. Obviously, guys, we're doing the show here as opposed to Hope Street Pizza, just out of an abundance of caution, everything that's going on with COVID. I have a feeling a lot of us are all COVIDed out, I guess, if that's a word, right? I mean, it's just nuts. But anyway, JG, we'll start with you. So we're 3 games into the Ivy season. And, look, I know 1 and 2 is not where you expected or where you wanted to be. I guess just give me your thoughts on right now how the team has played.
Overall, we haven't played our best. You know, coming in 1 and 2, that's not what we expected. We expected to be much better. But we're doing the necessary preparations to get where we need to be. We're practicing hard, and we're just practicing and playing with a sense of desperation.
You know, the performance at Harvard showed what we can be, right? I mean, we kind of put it all together on both ends of the floor, I thought, that night.
Sure. And when we're shooting well, when we're rebounding, you know, we're unstoppable playing defense. We're an unstoppable team.
Yep. And Noah, you know, then in the next night we go to Dartmouth, and as well as we shot the ball as a team on Friday night, couldn't make open shots on Saturday, and that's kind of the weird thing about basketball. You know, I've been around the sport long enough to know sometimes you just have games like that where you've got good open looks and the shots don't go, and it's tough to win on those nights, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. In those situations, we just have to do our best to control what we can control. Just focus on our energy, our effort, our defense, our communication, and just try to play our best and hope things will work out for us that night.
So, JG, this is it, man. Your senior year, it seems hard to believe because it seems like yesterday when you were a freshman, and I remember you came on so strong at the end of the year, and then that game against Loyola in the CBI out there, you showed us flashes. I said, wow, this kid's going to be special. And then, of course, you follow that up with the next year being the Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year, and then COVID shuts the whole world down, including Ivy League men's basketball. Can you believe this is it? This is your final year?
I went by fast. Felt like I just got here.
It did. I mean, take us back to that, right? You were a freshman, and you didn't play a lot early on, but then late in the season, you started to get more playing time and kind of get your feet wet. Was it just kind of a learning, a growing process for you?
Yeah, it was most definitely a growing process. Coming in, you know, I was real skinny, and most of it was like strength. And when I got my weight up and I started being more conditioned, running up and down the court, doing extra like practices, working on my touch, it's starting to show improvements on the court.
And you put on a lot of good weight, right? I mean, between freshman and sophomore year, you spent a lot of time in the weight room. Did you have to change your diet too? I mean, what did you do?
I went to the nutritionist, and pretty much I just doubled my intake on pretty much everything I ate. That was about it.
Wow. So you just loaded up on the calories and spent some time in the. How much
nonstop.
weight did you put on between freshman and what would you say from your freshman year to your sophomore year, maybe where you are now? What did you come in at?
Came in at 185.
And what do you weigh right now?
217.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Noah, yours is a different story in that local kid, Providence, Rhode Island, went to school right across the street at Moses Brown, and then you went to Skidmore College, a Division III program where you were just outstanding. You decided to transfer here to Brown, and just as you were getting set to play, again, the pandemic hits, and you know, no basketball for you. I mean, it delayed your start as a Brown Bear. What was that whole process like for you?
Well, I knew coming in I was going to have to sit out a year due to the transfer rules. My mindset going in was just try to make the most of the opportunity, work with assistant coaches to get better individually. I was still able to practice with the team, so that was valuable experience in there. And then I guess you could say we sort of saw it coming with the COVID year, us not having to play, so it was sort of like that situation all over again, just try to do what I can to get better and to prepare for this year.
Can you take us back to when you were in high school? So obviously, I assume you were under-recruited, at least in terms of Division I schools, right? Whereas it mostly Division II, Division III programs looking at you?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And then you go to Skidmore and you tear it up. And then is that when Division I schools started, contacting you or becoming interested in you? Or did you make it known that you wanted to transfer? How does it work? Do you put your name in the transfer portal as a Division III guy just like you do in Division I?
So as a D3 athlete, there's no transfer portal. It's only for D1 and D2 guys. So I sort of had to use my connections to reach out to coaches, and a lot of them were interested. So that was good, and that's sort of how I went from there.
And how'd you wind up here? I know, is your mom a graduate of Brown?
Yeah, she is.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Did that have any influence on you picking here?
Not really. I guess she just tried to like make me let me make my own decision. Combination of the academics and athletics, and then just like I love the group of guys here, so that's what factored into my decision.
Jalen, what about you when you were recruited out of high school? Who were some of the schools that recruited you, and how'd you wind up here at Brown?
Schools recruited me, or Appalachian State, Western Carolina, a few HBCUs like Howard, A&T, Lafayette, Longwood. It was a bunch of mid-majors. How I ended up at Brown is mostly my mom. She loved it, but Coach Martin played a big factor in that, because like out of all the coaches, he was the one that always, like, every week he made sure he talked to my mama and me. It wasn't just like, oh, he's checking up on me, he's checking up on mom, he's making sure the family's good.
Yeah.
And that meant, that meant a lot, because that means he's trying to like form a real like true connection. So that's mainly how I ended up here.
And a Southern kid from Greensboro, and sounds like most of the schools recruiting you were from down in that area, with the exception of Lafayette and Brown. So you decided to make the trek north.
Yep.
Yeah, you're probably not crazy about these winters up here, are you?
No, not at all.
So your sophomore year, like I said, was really a breakout year for you on both ends of the floor. Offensively, you were finishing at the rim and getting a lot of alley-oops and rebounds and putbacks. And defensively, as we mentioned, Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year. What was that like for you to really come on your sophomore year after not playing much as a freshman?
Man, great experience. Great. Once I was able to showcase what I could do, and you could see the improvements on the court, I felt satisfied with myself, and I felt like all my hard work was finally paying off, and everything was just falling into place. It was just a great experience for me.
So let me ask you this: do you feel like after that tremendously successful year, I know we didn't have a season, but do you feel like now it's a little bit harder because teams have a book on you, that they've scouted you, so you're no longer a guy that can sneak up on people, right? They know who Jalen Gainey is throughout the league. So is it a little bit harder on both ends for you to do your thing?
Yeah, it's a little bit harder now. Teams play different defenses. I don't catch as many alleys I used to. I was catching alleys like every other play almost, and now it's just a lot different. A lot of people, the scouting is way different.
I'm sure you saw the graphic that was released on social media earlier in the week. You now have enough field goal attempts in your career to qualify. You're Brown's all-time career leader in field goal percentage. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. I had no clue, but I appreciate it.
So does that mean when they redo this wall, we got to get you up here somewhere?
You got to. You got to.
So, Noah, talk to us a little bit about your season, right? I mean, you finally get to put on the uniform. You finally get to play. You're probably not playing, I'm sure, the minutes you'd love to. Everyone wants to play 40 minutes, right? I mean, that's just the way it is, but there's only one basketball and 5 spots on the floor at a time. So, how have you dealt with that after playing probably 40 minutes a game at Skidmore and being the school's, the program's leading scorer, to being a guy that's relied on to come off the bench and fill a role?
After 2 years of having to sit out, it's just great to be out there again. I'm just trying to do whatever I can to help the team win, help my teammates win, and I'm just enjoying being a part of this group right now.
I mean, this is such a deep team, too, that you're a part of, right? I mean, there's so many guys that are talented that can play. It's like it's a numbers game. And I know, look, Coach, I would say Coach Martin's probably played more players this year in his rotation than he ever has, just because you guys have such a deep roster, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have a lot of guys who can play, a lot of talent on this team. I know everyone's not going to get to play every game. I think everyone on the team just tries their best to stay ready and then just contribute when they're able to.
What is it like in practice? It must make for pretty good competitive practices when you have this much talent and this deep of a roster.
Yeah, for sure. Practices are usually pretty competitive. High intensity. Sometimes they get fun with little trash talking, but overall they're pretty fun.
I mean, JG, you probably remember. I mean, there were probably times when you were a freshman or sophomore, and maybe we had guys that were injured or sick, and we probably couldn't even put 10 guys on the practice floor, right?
Yeah. Right now it's a lot better, you know what I'm saying? With way more players, you get more reps, more. And like you said, like the competition has been high, you know what I'm saying? We go at each other every practice, so we try to. And, that just leads to more improvement.
Talk about being one of the veterans on the team now where, you are responsible somewhat maybe for helping bring some of the other guys of your position along, whether it's Nana Owusu-Anani or whether it's Malachi Nador, guys like that. I mean, talk about that aspect of being a senior.
Oh man, it's fun, especially like playing against them. Like I'm helping them, with like by going at them in practice. I'm like trying to tell them what to do, what to do, what to don't. And, they listen. They're real good at listening. And then they come at me, and that just makes me better.
I think one of the most difficult things to find in college basketball at any level is quality big men like yourself. And I feel like this program now has an abundance of them, which I've never seen. I mean, I've covered Brown basketball since the mid-'90s, and I've never seen this amount of depth up front. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, those guys are talented.
Yeah.
So when it's their time, it's gonna be their time, because they're gonna put on the show for the community.
A guy like Nana too. I think his experience probably on the Canadian under-19 national team that probably had to help him a lot, right?
Yeah, he plays real experience, so that helped him quite a bit.
Noah, so we've got Princeton this Saturday. Very good basketball team. Preseason favorite to finish at or near the top of the league. Very good shooting team, too. I look at the numbers, and I think they're second in terms of scoring. They're number 1 in field goal percentage. They're number 1 in three-point field goal percentage. Without giving away the game plan, I mean, talk about the challenge of facing a team and trying to beat a team like this on the road.
I mean, yeah, they're a really good team. I know they had some big wins earlier in the season in their non-conference schedule. I think we just got to go out, focus on ourselves, focus on playing defense, rebounding, getting out in transition, just trying to make it difficult for them and just getting easy buckets for us.
JG, your assignment's going to be, I assume, the big fella, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name. It's Tosan Owoma, I think is how you pronounce his name, but he's been really good for them. Have you seen him on film?
Yeah, I have. I've watched him. He's a pretty good player.
So that'd be a good challenge for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Princeton, and then I think Yale on Martin Luther King Day, which will be our first Ivy League home game. Let's talk about that a little bit, JG. You guys have been road warriors here as of late. We start the Ivy League season with 5 of our first 6 on the road, but even before that, I mean, you go to Syracuse, you go to Maryland before we open up at Penn. Going to be nice to play a home game?
Oh, it's going to be great. I can't wait. It's going to feel good being at the Piz.
I mean, it's fun being on the road, Noah. You know what I mean? You guys get to kind of hang out just together in the hotel, have team meals together. You do fun stuff like we went to the African-American Smithsonian Museum down in Washington, D.C., but at the same time, it's got to be fun to come back home and play in front of your home crowd.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. On the road, we had a lot of time to hang out with each other in the whole hotel, just to spend time around each other, build that chemistry off the court. But it's nice to get back and start playing at home a little bit too.
Noah, do you think that the schedule, it was a tough non-conference schedule, right? When you look at who you guys play, we played down in St. Thomas against teams like Creighton and Colorado. I mean, you played Maryland, you played Syracuse, you played Vermont. Do you think that tough non-conference schedule is something that will benefit this team as we continue to move along in Ivy play?
Definitely. I think that type of schedule is something that prepares us for a deep Ivy run, and that's our goal. We know that there's going to be some bumps along the road early on. That's just part of the process, and our end goal is to win Ivy League championship. So hopefully we'll be able to do that.
Jalen, same question to you. Playing that tough schedule, you guys probably love it, right? You like stepping up and playing those ACC, those Big Ten programs, the Big East schools, Pac-12. Does that schedule help?
Yeah, it does help. Real confidence booster because, Ivy League, a lot of guys look down on Ivy League sometimes playing. And we're going against these real high major teams and we're competing. We're putting on an actual a game. And that was just a big confidence booster. It showed us what we can do. And with that type of confidence, it's a hard team to stop once you put the right pieces in.
Well, it's funny. So you bring up, too, a lot of people that don't know the Ivy League might not know how good the quality of basketball is at this level, Noah. To me, it is as good as it's ever been. I mean, the level of talent in this league has just increased year after year after year. And to the point where, you say mid-major. First of all, the Ivy League is not low major. It is mid-major, no doubt about it. But there's a ton of talent in this league, isn't there?
For sure, definitely. I remember the year I transferred in. I believe it was the 10th best conference in the nation. And there was a couple NBA prospects in the league at that time, so that was just a detractive thing. And I feel like the Ivy League's brand of basketball is just continuing to build and get bigger.
Is Mione still with the Jazz from Yale? I think.
I would assume.
I know he was with them last year.
I think he just got traded to the Thunder and then released.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but there's a guy that's in the league. I know T's going to give it a crack at making it to the league. So, I mean, I agree with you. I just think the talent is something else. Noah, what's your concentration here at Brown? What are you going to graduate with a degree in this spring?
Psychology.
Okay, and is that it for you? Will you try to get into the working world? Are you going to try to continue to play basketball professionally, be it here, be it overseas? What's in your future plans?
I'm planning to take advantage of the COVID year, make use of that, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Go to grad school somewhere?
Yeah, correct.
Play basketball?
Yep.
Okay. JG, how about you?
Major is business econ, and I plan on doing the same. Taking a grad year somewhere, go play basketball.
Okay. Now, have schools already reached out to you, or does that happen after the season? Do you have to put your name in the transfer portal first before they can reach out to you? I'm a little naive to this stuff.
I think they're reaching out to the coaches. I told them to just wait till after the season for me personally.
Yep.
And they've been talking to them, so I think that's how it's been working for me.
I mean, I've got to imagine that there's going to be a lot of interest in both of you guys. You're going to have options, right? And that's pretty cool, too, to think that you can get grad school paid for, right?
Yeah.
Get that extra graduate degree. Now you're really set up. So once you finish grad school, you can still play basketball professionally, but then you get a Brown degree and a graduate degree from another school to fall back on.
That's big, real big.
That is really big. Well, guys, good luck against the Princeton Tigers on Saturday, and thank you for joining us on Coach's Show today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's Noah Marin, Jalen Gainey, our guest on the Mike Martin Show. When we come back, Coach Martin will rejoin us. We'll preview the matchup with the Princeton Tigers when we continue with the Mike Martin Show right after this.
Doctors at University Orthopedics have been caring for the people of southeastern New England for more than 40 years. With the Warren Alpert Medical School of Brown University, we train the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Our state-of-the-art facilities stretch from Westerly to Mansfield. At our East Bay Surgery Center, we've performed thousands of surgeries, including same-day total joint replacements. We've grown through the years, but our goal has always been getting you back to doing what you love to do. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here. University Orthopedics.
From corporate events to weddings by the bay to private celebrations, the Pronzi name means elegance, personalized service, and exacting attention to detail. Pronzi has everything you need in one place: event planning, catering, tents, tables and chairs, decor, and so much more. Call Pronzi today and let them plan your next event. Why go anywhere else?
No taxation without representation!
Sir, we're a bank.
The Crown shall not place these financial restraints upon thee.
Bay Coast Bank is one of New England's longest-standing community banks.
You can also use our interactive teller machine beyond normal banking hours.
Is that tea?
Hey, Paul. Yeah, no need to bring the horse. The British. Yeah, they're not coming.
Elite Physical Therapy was founded on relationships and wanting to do the very best and elite by others. Having our partnerships with institutions like the University of Rhode Island, Providence College, and Brown University have made us proud to continue to serve the communities like they do.
I can say that I am incredibly proud of our team and our community.
Treating them, we know these people on a personal level.
Here at Elite, we really focus on the person and what's important to the person.
We love Rhode Island. We're living here. We're raising our families here.
Doctors at University Orthopedics have been caring for the people of southeastern New England for more than 40 years. With the Warren Alpert Medical School of Brown University, we train the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Our state-of-the-art facilities stretch from Westerly to Mansfield. At our East Bay Surgery Center, we've performed thousands of surgeries, including same-day total joint replacements. We've grown through the years, but our goal has always been getting you back to doing what you love to do. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here. University Orthopedics.
From corporate events to weddings by the bay to private celebrations, the Pronzi name means elegance, personalized service, and exacting attention to detail. Pronzi has everything you need in one place. Event planning, catering, tents, tables and chairs, decor, and so much more. Call Pronzi today and let them plan your next event. Why go anywhere else?
No taxation without representation!
Sir, we're a bank.
The Crown shall not place these financial restraints upon thee.
Bay Coast Bank is one of New England's longest-standing community banks.
You can also use our interactive teller machine beyond normal banking hours.
Is that tea?
Hey, Paul. Yeah, no need to bring the horse. The British. Yeah, they're not coming.
Elite Physical Therapy was founded on relationships and wanting to do the very best and elite by others. Having our partnerships with institutions like the University of Rhode Island, Providence College, and Brown University have made us proud to continue to serve the communities like they do.
I can say that I am incredibly proud of our team and our community.
Treating them, we know these people on a personal level.
Here at Elite, we really focus on the person and what's important to the person.
We love Rhode Island. We're living here. We're raising our families here.
Welcome back to the Mike Martin Show on AM 790 WPRV and on Facebook Live. Scott Cordisci with you. This portion of the program brought to you by the Brown Sports Foundation. Through your donations and the work of our volunteers, the Brown Sports Foundation is committed to providing funding and support to our student athletes to enhance the student-athlete experience at Brown. Thank you for your generosity and service to Brown Athletics. And brought to you by Ticket Smarter. Nothing beats the power and excitement of live events like Ticket Smarter. For all the best sports, concerts, and theater events, visit Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Ticket Smarter, proud to be the official ticket resale marketplace of Brown Athletics. Ticket Smarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. All right, Coach. One game this weekend. It's on the road against the Princeton Tigers. Two. You want to talk about Monday's game, too? I guess we can. I wasn't even thinking about that, but you're right. Until our next show, we have two games. I was thinking I'm singularly focused on Princeton. That's
As
why,
are
Coach.
we.
I have tunnel vision.
As are we, but it is, it's a new type of Ivy weekend, but we have two games in 3 days, and, it's a long weekend. Monday's a holiday, and Martin Luther King Day, and so we do have two games this weekend.
Yeah, I love the fact that the Ivy League 2 is playing games on Martin Luther King Day. I think that's terrific. We'll get to that Yale game in a moment. Let's talk about Princeton Tigers, unbeaten right now in league play at 2-0, 12-3 overall. They've had some terrific non-conference wins, and certainly one of the better players in the league in Jalen Llewellyn.
Yeah, they're terrific. Offensively, they're one of the best offensive teams in the country with the way they shoot it. They don't turn it over much. They've got some guys who are really good and dynamic in one-on-one situations. Llewellyn and Wright are two senior guards who are playing like all Ivy players, and then I don't want to mispronounce his name, but Tosan
Awoma.
Awoma, number 20, has just been dynamic for them as their high post center, and he can isolate people. He can score by pivoting around them. He's great with shot fakes. All three of those guys are playing like all league players, so they are a handful offensively. We're supposed to be really good defensively. We'll see how it looks on Saturday with the league's best offense and, by the numbers, the league's best defense.
All right. And then on Monday, Martin Luther King Day, you host the Yale Bulldogs, led by Azar Swain.
Yeah, they're obviously experienced and tough and haven't played in a bit because of some COVID issues. I think Saturday, their game against Cornell is their first Ivy League game. Yale's been a thorn in our sides over the years. They've beaten us quite a few in a row. We're going to have to play really well. It's our home opener in Ivy play, and it's a great opportunity. We have no attendance restrictions, so hopefully we get a lot of the people to come out in the community and watch, which should be a really good game Monday afternoon as we celebrate and honor Dr. King on his day, and hopefully the Bears will celebrate by playing some really good basketball against a good team.
All right, so first things first, the Princeton Tigers on the road Saturday at 2. Russ and I will be on the air at 1:45. And then, of course, the Yale Bulldogs here on Martin Luther King Day. As Coach mentioned, Brown is the only Ivy League school at the moment allowing fans into their games. You must wear a mask inside the Pizzatola Sports Center, but come see some great Ivy League basketball action on Martin Luther King Day as the Bears host the Yale Bulldogs. And that'll do it for this edition of the Mike Martin Show. My thanks to both Noah Marin and Jalen Gainey for joining us earlier, and for the head coach of the Bears, Mike Martin, my name is Scott Cordisci. So long, everybody.